today. Fourth grade C proudly presents a short summary about the history of music. We hope you enjoy it.
It's everywhere. We can't escape it. We can listen to it on the sound effects at the movie theater or on television.
Commercials used in grocery stores, public buildings, recreation centers, and schools. Perhaps the only place you might be able to escape it is in the library.
Do you really want to escape music? Is it possible to eliminate it from our lives? Music is with us since the day we were born. It relaxes, inspires, controls, and manipulates. All that and much more. Life is music.
It's really difficult to say when music began. We can find various references on
suggested that the first musical instrument might have been only constructed stick through which one could blow and make sound, the precursor of wind instruments. Music actually began around 500 before Christ when Pythagoras experimented with acoustics and how math related to tones formed from buckling strings.
The main family music during the Middle Ages was the current chant named for Pope Gregory I. This music was used in the Catholic churches to enhance the service. Composer Queen Lance of Castile.
In a sense period, vocal music was still more important than instrumental. The main form of music was the Gregorian chant named for Pope Gregory I. This music was used to enhance services in Catholic churches. Famous composer Thomas Mann.
Unlike the previous two periods in music, the Baroque age was a time of unity. People of this time believed that music could move the listener to more ways than one. Opera was a major idea for this belief.
There was a new demand for music now. Churches, aristocratic courts, opera houses wanted music. Composers were pressured to write new music because audiences did not want to hear pieces of music in the old-fashioned style. The Baroque age began the spread of music in society, and it continued to blossom further. Famous composer Johann Sebastian Bach.
Classical period of music differs from the Baroque in that melodies in classical music have an easy tone to remember. A gradual shift from using a piano instead of a harpsichord came to the desire to have more dynamic changes. Most composers began to control their own music, not make music according to what someone else wanted. Composer Beethoven.
The Romantic period was a time when emotion was poured into the music. The instruments will represent the emotions, characters, and events of a particular story. Composers experimented new instruments such as piccolo and contrabassoon to expand the pitches of the orchestra.
Romantic period, more composers became freelancers. Beethoven was one of the first. He inspired many others to freelance and compose for their own pleasure. Much of the music on this time was written for the middle class because they prospered due for the Industrial Revolution. Famous composer Frédéric Chopin.
During the 20th century, many techniques were considered uncommon before being used at this time. Many composers used noise like practicing.
The United States became a powerful force of the 20th century. Jazz music, jazz, and country. Other popular musics of the world.
Throughout the years, musical styles have reflected the society of the time and have evolved with changes in the world. Not only does musical change with society, but it changes with technological advances as well.
As technology changes, it can already starts to emerge a new way for people to listen. From radio to television and the records to the internet, the music and the way we consume it have dramatically changed in the past 70 years.
Now we will try to briefly cover the types of music that were popular since the very top until the present day.
You must remember this. A kiss is still a kiss. A sigh, just a sigh.
The Great Depression hit late in the 20s and remained throughout the 30s, influencing the music of the time. Jazz, country, traditional pop were very popular at this time, a popular artist being Crosby.
Music of the 40s consisted mainly of jazz, big band, and swing. It reflected the pain of World War II, because much of the world was involved in the war during the decade. Many artists and groups put their efforts into entertaining soldiers.
Popular genres: jazz, big band, swing, country, bebop, novelty acts, band leaders. Popular artists: Frank Sinatra.
Music of the 50s reflected the beginnings of major social changes in the world and in the USA, especially rock and roll. Traditional pop ruled the charts, while radio and television connected the countries in our musical tastes and exposed people to a great variety of music and styles. Some of the first major superstars emerged with people like Elvis Presley, dominating the airwaves and the minds of young girls. Popular genres: traditional pop and rock and roll. Popular artist: Elvis Presley.
The 60s brought some of the greatest singers, songwriters, and instrumentalists emerging on the scene. There were also many bands and artists and musical innovations like the Beatles, Simon and Garfunkel, and the Rolling Stones. The Beatles dominated the charts and spread on the British invasion that characterized much of the decade. Popular genres: folk, surf rock, psychedelic rock, etc. A popular artist: the Beatles. In the 70s, disco became one of the biggest and most popular trends in music during the decade. Many singers and bands came out with disco songs to keep up with the trend, including rockers, Rod Stewart. Heavier rock music and punk rock also emerged during the decade, some of it as a relation to disco. Popular genres: disco dance, progressive rock, etc. A popular artist: Diana Ross.
In the 80s, music was dramatically changed by the introduction of MTV, music television. This meant that music videos became more and more of a necessary in order for artists to gain popularity. Michael Jackson emerged as one of the most dominant artists of the decade and was helped by his creative music and videos and pure talent with his Thriller album and video setting pop music standards.
60s and 80s was at the time of extreme bands and pop groups. The decade was ruled by powerful singers like Mariah Carey, Jenny Dillon, and Whitney Houston. Topping the chart: popular genres: rap, gangster rap, bubblegum pop, boy bands, girl groups. Popular artists: Britney Spears.
Music from the 2000s reflected a variety of genres. Music from the 2000s that came from the 90s remained of the same artist and band, remaining popular between the two decades. Some of the most popular genres of the decade include dance pop, indie rock, and emo. Popular genres: dance pop, indie rock, and emo, pop punk, contemporary hip hop. Popular artists: Christina Aguilera, Nora Jones, and the White Stripes.
Sleepless nights at the chateau, visualize it. I'll give it something to do. Coach, wherever we go, visualize it. I'll give it something to do. To get a wildfire burning, visualize it. I'll give it something to do. Ace high and going all in, visualize it.